Hi there, it's Paul from Wolf Software Systems on my laptop with CatchyOS. I was running Nabara till this morning when it bricked. There was an update and lots of people have had this problem, and we ran the update and then suddenly I couldn't get any desktop, and I thought, do you know what, it's Linux and I fancy trying CatchyOS out, and you can, so I've just got to restore the backup tomorrow. WolfStack. Those of you who don't know what WolfStack is and you wandered across this weird looking screen, this is actually our server management software that you can run on top of Proxmox or Debian or just about any version of Linux. You can run it on Raspberry Pis, an Arc. We've run it on IBM Power, which is RISC based. Yeah, you can run anything like pretty much. We're hoping to make it the the number one for doing that. So here you can see I've got 4 clusters on this setup. And this is a Minio cluster bare metal, and I've got 3 Proxmox clusters all running. And you just install WolfStack on top of Proxmox and bare metal. So this is this is actually a WolfStack cluster, and these are WolfStack clusters that are running on top of Proxmox. Proxmox doesn't know that WolfStack is there, but we can control WolfStack with it. Now, one of our latest additions is the ability. So we've got a Discord, which is really good if you want to chat. And somebody said, what if I want to migrate from Proxmox to WolfStack? So I'm going to show you how we can do that. So if I go we're going to go and create an LXC container on one of the WolfStack servers. So I'm going to go create container. First of all, I select a template. It's Debian, of course. I don't know why I said of course. I can have anything you like. I'm going to set a little password. It's already assigned a WolfNet address. If you don't know what WolfNet is, one of the things I really hate is software-defined networks where on Proxmox it's quite a fiddle to get it to work across a cluster. So we developed WolfNet, which kind of installs with WolfStack and kind of does its own thing, and you just follow the instructions. And we tried to get away from fiddling around with things that were going to break the servers. So I'm just going to create. I can see it's downloading the template. Okay, let's give it a second. So there you go, and it's done. So you'll see down the bottom it says create a container. Here's the container, just to prove it's alive without me doing any settings or anything, just running it. So I'm to run it now. Funnily enough, I'm quite strange that Discord didn't go into streamer mode, but there we are. Yeah, so I'm waiting for that to get started. There we go. So it's just started. The first time it starts takes a bit longer, and then I can log in. Excuse me. To the container just by clicking the container, and there's lots of different tools and things like that. Of course, I could have just created something from the App Store, so I could have chosen something like a Minecraft server or whatever and just built it straight away, but I've not done that. I've got LXC containers. Actually, I would have cluster, so I wouldn't have been able to build a native Docker from the App Store, because you can't with a Kubernetes cluster because it manages Docker. Excuse me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to migrate this container from this WolfStack cluster into one of the Proxmox clusters, and we're going to send it to WolfStack 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to the LXC containers here, because I need a token because it's in a different cluster. So I'm going to get my import token. These only last for half an hour, so if you were being clever and you've taken a screenshot, it's not really going to help you. So I'm going to go back to here, go back to my container here. There it is, Debian Trixie. That's the one I just created. Now I'm going to migrate it, which is this one here. And I'm going to send it to an external cluster. Okay, I'm going to use my token. So I've put that in. Then it picks up the storage. So I'm going to put it on the F cluster on that server. Now I'm just going to go migrate, and you'll see that it's going now down the bottom. So I can actually ignore it now and go and do other things, and it'll migrate this container. So what it doesn't actually remove the container for running server because it's actually running. What it does is it will move the container across to the new cluster or the new server. And of course you can move these containers or Dockers or whatever, or VMs. You can move them within a cluster, which is pretty instant, or you can move it to a completely different cluster. So that means that if you've got something running on, if you wanted to migrate a whole production system off of Proxmox onto WolfStack, you could do that. If you want to temporarily move a workload into there we go, it's there. Okay, so now I'm going to just into there, and we should see that Debian Trixie container. There it is. So that's the container that we've just built. Now obviously it's now on a Proxmox cluster from a WolfStack cluster, because WolfStack knows how to talk to Proxmox manipulate it and to make it do what it wants. So we've obviously got the network has just been set to DHCP, so I would need to go in and change that and fiddle around with it, and obviously it's set up some default settings, and we've got some other settings as well. This is actually it's a Proxmox LXCs, whereas over here this one is obviously a WolfStack LXC, which I'm now going to stop and delete because I don't want to leave these lying around. It's all just messy. I'll leave that one there. I'll probably use it for something tomorrow. I'm just going to delete that one. I mean, there's some other things in WolfStack as well. So that's a little bit of migration across different clusters. Also, you can do settings. You can see that I've got candy icons here on my setup. So I can go to icons like this. And at the moment, I've not actually got... yeah, I need to actually download these icons. Oh, no, it's got them already. Okay, so I'm going to confirm that. There we go. And you can see that the whole system has changed to matching icons, so I can match my system. And there's different themes as well. I like this one with the flashy, what's it? It looks really cool. Yeah, so there's different themes as well, and things like that. There's just tons of stuff in this. It's basically because I got fed up with having loads of logins for different things. So if I want to make a status page, I can just do it in here. If I want to run Kubernetes, I can do it in here. If I want to run LXC and Docker, if I want, I can do it in here. And we've got our own thing called WolfRun for doing WolfRun for managing for doing it. That's another scaling system, basically like Kubernetes. Backups, I can connect to Proxmox. This is actually managing the backups for every server on every cluster. But actually, if I go into here, you can see that I've got. Let's just try. Oh, there's some. So there you can see the snapshots. There's some that are running automatically from the Proxmox clusters, but you can actually set it also. You can make WolfStack run the Proxmox backup for you if you want to. So it just the beautiful thing about WolfStack is it's all this stuff you didn't know you needed. And a replacement for other stuff where it's just in one place. I mean, it's even things like, if I close that, this is the server room. So if you're like us managing a lot of servers, we can have, in fact, I've got another installation that has another bank of servers, but this is basically, I can just look at this. It's also, if you want it, you don't have to do it. It's AI enabled. So we have like it does regular monitoring. If it sees something going on it doesn't like, it sends an email. We don't give it the power to actually fix anything, because obviously that's quite dangerous. But it will email you, and you can set it up to talk to not GitHub. This is different things going on there, and if it finds a problem, as you can see here, it's actually telling me what to do about it, or what some good suggestions for fixing it. Yeah, so that's WolfStack for you. If you want to download it, you can. Please do remember we have to eat, so if you like it, please sign up for our Patreon from €3, £3 a month, about $4 a month. It would really help. And we've got bigger packages as well that give you more benefits. We are going to be, at the moment, we're kind of building stuff out because we've only had this out for we've used it for ages, but we've had it out in the market for about a couple of months. So we've been working with people and beta testers and everything like that to just test it against different platforms and, have some new ideas. But we will get to the point where so there'll be 3 setup. So the free version will be about 2 months behind the enterprise the Patreon version, and the Patreon will be about 2 months behind the enterprise version. So there'll be that staging going on. But at the moment, we're just fixing stuff and adding new things in to make it. It's going to be the #1 tool for managing Linux servers in different locations with different configurations with different processors. You don't have to get an ISO and install it. So if you rent a server, I don't know, it's OVH or Hetzner or something like that, you can rent the server, install your favorite Linux operating system on it, and drop WolfStack on it with a one-line installation. It's that cool. So yeah, that's it. So please do join our Discord, follow us on Reddit. We've got a load of other socials up here you can join. And just enjoy it, and also please do support us in in funding us. Thanks very much.